Hey folks, Eric here, the Whatever Guy, because it really is whatever with me. And do you folks want to know if these depositions will reveal anything? You guys stick around, man. We'll talk about that. As you guys know, man, my name's Eric. I am the Whatever Guy, and I usually shoot videos a couple days a week, basically keeping you guys updated in the world of Delta 8, Delta 9, Delta 10, hemp cannabis, just what's going on around. And today, man, sitting here bullshitting around on an early Friday morning. As you guys know, there was a TRO hearing or permanent injunction hearing, I believe. Either way, there was a hearing yesterday in front of Judge Anderson. The AMCC is suing obviously the applicants not wanting these depositions to go forward. It's been eerily silent. Like, I haven't heard anything come out of any news whatsoever. I'm sure there's some news out there that maybe I'm not getting a hold of, but hopefully we'll hear something this morning about whether he's going to allow these depositions to go forward. But in our opinion, in most of the people's opinion that are watching this is the only way that we're going to get to the truth. Like, this is the only way that we're going to answer a lot of the questions that we have had. And this article by Josh Moon, man, Josh Moon's on fire, bro. Like, this guy is really pointing out some cool things in this article, and he's actually pointing out just about everything that I have to say, or most of everybody that's watching this process has to say about the process. And so we're going to take a look at it and see what he's got to say over here at the Alabama Reporter. And like I said, this is by Josh Moon. And basically what it says in medical cannabis licensing mess, depositions are the only way to the truth. And he's probably right. This is in a process that has been weirdly secretive from the start. Depositions are the sunlight the licensing process needs. Sorry about that. I shot down a little bit too far. It says the Alabama Medical Cannabis Commission filed a motion on Friday asking a Montgomery County Circuit Court judge to reconsider an order allowing for depositions and other discovery in a long-running lawsuit over the commission's handling of the medical cannabis licensing process. Judge James Anderson granted the plaintiffs, a group of cannabis companies denied licenses, the right to depose up to 6 people and obtain numerous documents in an effort to ascertain just what has gone wrong in this process. However, in its filings, the AMCC claims the plaintiffs didn't meet certain requirements under the law and want Anderson to reconsider. And that was the reconsider yesterday. Consider this my court filing. Don't you do it, Judge. This is Josh Moon talking. He's like, don't do it, Judge. On behalf of the citizens of this state, the media, and everyone who cares about good government, don't consider a thing, because the only thing you granted is what should have happened in the first place, an open process. There's absolutely no acceptable reason that an employee of the state, a person being paid by all of us taxpayers, should have a problem sitting there before any attorney and answering questions about the manner in which a public process governed by laws of this state was conducted. And that's all your order is granting. Let's also not forget that the only reason there are questions about this process is because the AMCC, its commissioners, and its staff have flatly refused to follow state laws and conduct this process in an open and transparent manner. I mean, an actual judge sits on this commission, and somehow it is still decided it was okay to hold a full deliberation in executive session out of public view and vote by secret ballot, and then acted as if everyone else was crazy for raising hell about those obvious violations of the Alabama Open Meetings Act. You hear my cats going off in the background. But even before that, there were issues from a weird workaround of some requirements handed out to certain companies to allowing almost entire applications, including the locations of facilities, to be redacted. It was apparent from the start that something hinky was happening. For goodness sakes, whoever heard of being allowed to hide where your business will be located on a state bid? This has been insanity, and we haven't yet touched on numerous, and I do mean numerous, odd connections between certain staff, commission members, and people tied to some applicant companies. Just start with the guy tied to an applicant company who quite literally helped write Alabama's application process. You see what I'm saying? It's been insanity from the start. And now these companies are simply asking the court to force the AMCC to do what it should have done anyway. Explain itself. Explain the mistakes and coincidences. Explain the odd connections. Explain why they violated the Open Meetings Act. Explain if they violated it repeatedly. Explain why this is all so damn secretive and mysterious instead of just a simple and open public process for awarding a state license. Honestly, that doesn't seem like too much to ask, and it wouldn't seem as if the AMCC would want to answer these allegations contained in the court filings. In one of those filings, 2 plaintiff companies allege that the AMCC commissioners have again violated the Open Meetings Act by meeting secretly to decide which companies to select and how to vote. The AMCC, in its response, pushes back on that, saying there's no evidence that there are procedural insufficiencies in the filing. But there is evidence. First, there's the couple of blatant violations of the OMA earlier in this process, which more than proves the commission's willingness to disregard that law. And second, there's the fact that despite clear directives from the court to be more open, the AMCC refused at every turn to hold public deliberations. To date, not a single commissioner has explained or even discussed publicly his or her vote or company preference or most important factors or what they believe is a deficiency or pass-fail item. Those discussions are why we have public meetings. Those discussions assure the public that the public employees, board members, commissioners have put in a good faith effort to follow laws, guidelines, and regulations, that they are making decisions based on those guidelines and selecting companies for contracts that best meet the qualifications. We've never had that in this process. The depositions might very well be the public's only chance at learning why that is. And let me just say this, guys, like there are a lot of companies out there in this space, in all of the licenses space, that were not set up and ready to go, that were awarded licenses. I was just contacted yesterday by a company that's actually looking for equipment in the cultivation space. Like, I'm not going to put them out there because I like the company and all that. But the fact of the matter is they're not set up even near about as well as a lot of the companies that applied for these licenses. And it's the same thing going for all of these licenses in the integrated space. These commissioners, man, had some idea of who they were going to vote for before they walked in the door. And that has created an issue on the other side because we don't know why. We don't know why, or even have heard any discussions on anything about why they picked these companies, why one commissioner would place them first, why one commissioner would place them last. What discussions did you have behind closed doors? What workarounds did you give these companies for that 10 megabyte file limit? Let's just get it all out in the open. These are public people that work for us. We pay your bills, we pay your taxes. Like, we should be able to come to you and get a very good understanding of what your thinking is. And here's the thing, guys, we pay you, and you were supposed to vote our conscience, not yours. You were supposed to follow the laws that were laid down by the legislature of the state, and you're not doing that. You're not putting everything out in the open for us to see. We are public members that pay taxes, and we wish to see how this process is going to go forward. And we want to know why you picked the companies that you picked. All right, folks, it's Whatever Guy signing off, and I'll talk to you guys later, man. Love you. See ya.